Chille DeCastro has sur-reply thrown out in Ironton and Nevada case. Judge says you gotta ask permission first in rare rebuke. Strikes it from the record. Lane Myers gets good news. Judge sets firm date for recusal hearing to help him with his speedy trial appeal. Then changes her mind and resets hearing for next week. Media requests flood in. MERB says it's all hooey anyway. Chille DeCastro announces he's suing Lackluster. Again. Gives the biggest auditing channel on YouTube 1 week to retract years-old claims against him, or they're going to court before the statute of limitations runs out. Plus, DeCastro had prototype cards in hand and is seeking $150,000 in financing for the 10,000-unit print run. Will you invest in this product? I'm your humble newsreader and king of all judges, Pants. You are a lonesome Arizona-based sov sit with a media request burning a hole in your pocket, and we are about to combust as we experience auditing insanity. Bad news came to Jose Chille DeCastro on Thursday as his filing of a sur-reply in his Nevada-filed federal civil rights lawsuit against members of the Ironton, Ohio and Lawrence County, Ohio police forces was rejected by Magistrate Judge Daniel J. Albrechts. Judge Albrechts wrote, quote, regarding Docket 32, plaintiff's sur-reply to Docket 31, reply, plaintiff has not moved to file his sur-reply as required by Local Rule 7-2B. So the clerk of court is kindly directed to strike plaintiff's sur-reply and mail a copy of this minute order to plaintiff. It is so ordered. Unquote. According to local rules, a motion is submitted by a party in a lawsuit and the opposition is allowed a single chance to reply to it, with the original party having a chance to rebut that reply. A second reply, or sur-reply, by the opposition is allowed in some instances, but only if the opposition party officially requests and is granted permission by the judge in the case to do so. DeCastro's sur-reply was rejected by Judge Albrechts, not on its merits, but due to procedural grounds. He simply didn't bother to ask the judge for permission before he filed it. He may refile the motion, but only after he seeks and is granted permission to do so. The setback may not be the last setback DeCastro experiences in this particular lawsuit. On April 14th, DeCastro filed for, and was granted, a motion to extend time to respond to the Lawrence County defendant's motion to dismiss the lawsuit. DeCastro was granted the extension on April 16, 2025, by Judge Albrechts, with a deadline to respond to the motion of May 12, 2025. DeCastro's response is currently 11 days overdue. While DeCastro has been actively responding to the Ironton defendant's motions. The diminutive YouTuber can't claim that he was not informed of his deadline, as his interactions in the lawsuit show that he's receiving notice and has, in fact, commented on the case on his live stream. It will be interesting to see how long he's given before Albrechts either reminds DeCastro that he needs to reply to the motion, or rules in favor of the Lawrence County defendants in the absence of his opposition. DeCastro has also come under fire from his own supporters, who have expressed concerns that he is not following through with his promises. His announced protest outside of the building housing the Las Vegas Review-Journal, a media outlet DeCastro has threatened to sue for defamation, was canceled on Wednesday without comment, despite DeCastro promising his fans a full-on protest. His controversial Constitution Headquarters board game, which has been the central focus since last year, has also apparently fallen to the wayside as DeCastro focuses on legal retribution for those who have made his enemies list. As of Friday morning, the counter for pre-sales of his game on his DeleteLaws.com website stands at 9,992 out of 9,999 units available. Confusingly, the official product page for the game also states the following, quote, "This item is in pre-sale. We are not shipping until May 2025. You are purchasing the board game Constitution Headquarters, set to launch in the first week of April 2025. This engaging game, similar to Trivial Pursuit, offers a fun and educational way to test your knowledge of constitutional law and American history. Currently, we are offering the Home Edition, designed for families, friends, and enthusiasts. A Teacher's Edition will also be available in May 2025, specifically tailored for educators and classrooms. Stay tuned for its release." Unquote. DeCastro's boasts that the board game will be featured in half the schools in America and the entire homeschool market are unsubstantiated at this time. The YouTuber is also experiencing problems with both his newly formed crowdsourcing campaign to help fund his recently filed lawsuit in Nevada against Judge Ann Zimmerman and others, along with his campaign for friend Craig Hendry. DeCastro's "Craig's freedom depends on your help" campaign remained stagnant on Thursday, sitting at a $270 total out of a set of goal of $15,000. With Hendry's need for the money fast approaching, it will be interesting if his good friend DeCastro will promote any time to promoting this campaign. Likewise, DeCastro's "Time to Sue the Corrupt Unprincipled Judge Ann Zimmerman" campaign raised a total of $30 on Thursday, bringing its total to $300 out of the $5,000 it seeks. Fans who had given DeCastro over $50,000 in donations towards his GoFundMe campaigns in the past have stayed away from his current crowdsourcing campaign for unexplained reasons. The new campaign did not even win the day, as Lane Myers's Give Send Go campaign raised $100 for Thursday, bringing it to $7,276 in total, out of a goal of $30,000. Thursday's setbacks for DeCastro show that his recent efforts to show that the old Chille is back may be paying off. DeCastro, despite the positive response to the return of his finger gun thumbnails to his live stream, also has brought back his previous bad habits in response to his ongoing court case and his apparent absolute laziness in promoting his products and crowdsourcing campaigns. With the end of May fast approaching, DeCastro's actions in the next week may significantly impact his pending comeback. DeCastro is expected to go live later on Friday. Jailed YouTuber Lane Myers returned to the news on Thursday as his controversial filing to remove Judge D. Douglas Metcalf from overseeing his trial resulted in immediate action by presiding Judge Danielle B. Lewinsky. On Thursday, Lewinsky ordered a hearing to review Myers' motion for change of judge, to be held on June 10th, 2025. Her order includes instructions for the court reporter to prepare an official transcript of the excerpt from the hearing where Myers accused Judge Metcalf of threatening him. In his motion to remove Metcalf, Myers took issue with all of the rulings that have gone against him at hearings by Metcalf. Myers also accuses Metcalf of judicial misconduct, as he alleged that Metcalf threatened him. Myers stated that the following exchange occurred at his May 12, 2025 status conference. Myers: "If you don't set an evidentiary hearing within 7 days, you will be intentionally disregarding the law, which is judicial misconduct." Metcalf: "That's okay. You can file a complaint if you don't like it." "You will be receiving lots of complaints." "Don't threaten me. It will not be good for you." Based on this exchange, Myers wrote, "This is judicial misconduct and requires the immediate removal of George Metcalf from this case. Threatening to retaliate for someone putting a judicial conduct complaint is conduct unbecoming of a judicial officer. This is completely against the Judicial Code of Conduct and shows the whole world that Mr. Myers cannot get a fair trial with Judge Metcalf. If Judge Metcalf cannot handle public scrutiny, he should resign. Rule 1.22 Code of Judicial Conduct reads, a judge should expect to be the subject of public scrutiny that might be viewed as burdensome if applied to other citizens and must accept the restrictions imposed by the code. Rule 1.23 Code of Judicial Conduct reads, conduct that is compromising or appears to compromise the independence, integrity, and impartiality of a judge undermines public confidence in the judiciary. Rule 2.4 Code of Judicial Conduct and a comparative judiciary requires the judges decide cases according to the law and the facts without regard to whether the particular laws or litigants are popular or unpopular with the public, the media, or government officials. Clearly, the public's confidence cannot be very high in Judge Metcalf when they watch him openly defy the law, rules of procedure, and code of conduct. Then, when told that a defendant and the public are going to follow established procedures and file a complaint, he threatens Mr. Myers with retaliation on the record. This kangaroo court is embarrassing the entire Pima County Superior Court and the entire judiciary for the state of Arizona. Myers also accused Metcalf of not allowing press to cover his trial. Metcalf provides audio live streams of his hearings and feels that outside recording is disruptive. While Arizona has a rule allowing audio recording by individuals, each judge still has control over their individual courtrooms and can block that rule. Metcalf's audio streams are made public on Pima County, Arizona's YouTube channel. Pima County does not provide permanent storage of the audio files on their YouTube channels. Because of this, Myers' supporters and independent reporters such as this channel restream the hearings to provide permanent storage of the events in court. Audio from the May 12, 2025 hearing is available from multiple sources on YouTube, including on our own channel, as linked in the text edition of this story included in the description below. The exchange Myers quotes, and has quoted in multiple interviews with fellow YouTubers over the past week, simply did not happen. It's not in the audio of the hearing. Myers' supporters lost a media request to broadcast from the courtroom earlier in pretrial hearings, and Metcalf's further opposition to live broadcast from his courtroom does not mean that reporters were prevented from covering the trial. We have had a local reporter in the courtroom for the past few hearings in the Myers case. On at least one occasion, our reporter was joined by a local stringer, an independent news reporter, and both reporters were able to report on the case without intervention or harassment by court officials. Our reporter has used pen and paper to take notes during the hearing they attended and has been able to provide in-depth reporting on the hearings afterwards. Our reporter appeared live on our YouTube channel immediately after each hearing and was able to report directly on what happened from her notes. When our normal reporter was not available to attend the May 16, 2025 hearing, a substitute reporter went in their place and again had no trouble reporting on events in the courtroom using pen and paper to take notes. Despite Myers' claims, Myers' supporters have the same ability to report from the courtroom, yet have not been observed at the hearings in the case since losing their motions hearing early in the case. Myers' own domestic partner has also not attended recent hearings, but has the same ability to take notes on and report the hearings in her partner's case. While our reporter and substitute reporter are both not available to be in court on June 10th, 2025, an audio broadcast is expected to be made available on the Pima County YouTube channel. We will restream the content on our YouTube channel and provide full commentary in our live stream following the hearing. Friday seemed to be a wonderful day to be Jose Chille DeCastro, as he live-streamed to over 700 of his fans with the announcement that the prototype for his Constitutional Headquarters board game had finished printing, and that he was about to sue YouTuber Dale Lackluster Hiller for defamation. DeCastro had 3 packets of cards in hand as he started his live stream, making the announcement that the stream would be the last anti-police video he'll be making for quite some time, as he would now be focusing on teaching his board game, which is still in prototype form. The YouTuber said that he had about 6 pre-orders, despite his website's counter reading 7 pre-orders. and that he was talking to financiers to get the $150,000 he says he needed to do a single 10,000 unit run of the first printing of the game. He had no estimate for the release of the game, but praised himself for the tremendous accomplishment of taking the game to a prototype stage. He continued to praise himself for the remainder of the broadcast, as his board game announcement was now accompanied by a second announcement featuring his replacement for handcuffs. DeCastro had previously announced that he had invented a replacement for handcuffs that allowed someone being detained by police to have their arms in a position in front of their body rather than the traditional method of being cuffed behind their back. The YouTuber claims that his device would cut down on the pain felt by a detainee as a humane alternative to the so-called torture cuffs currently used by police forces. He has long opposed the use of handcuffs by police, as he says they're too restrictive and too painful when applied. DeCastro claimed to have years of martial arts training and came up with the idea for his alternative device while incarcerated in the Clark County, Nevada jail last year. In his announcement, he assured that police or security officers using the device would be safe with detainees having free use of their arms while in the device. According to DeCastro, he sent off a video on Friday detailing his instructions for the device to someone who will produce a prototype of the device. DeCastro is seeking to patent the device and make it available to police forces across America. DeCastro also returned to an old threat on his Friday live stream as he announced that unless Dale Lackluster Hiller retracts statements against him, he would be suing Hiller for defamation before the statute of limitations runs out next week. In the past, DeCastro has alluded to problems with Hiller and has previously threatened to sue Hiller. However, he never actually went forward with a defamation case against the YouTuber. In Friday's announcement, DeCastro simultaneously gave Hiller an undisclosed deadline to retract statements about DeCastro, but then claimed that Hiller would not get a chance to retract the statements before DeCastro would file suit anyway. Finally, DeCastro ignored developments in his California Superior Court-based lawsuit against Kate Peter, Team Skeptic, Daniel Clement, and Michael Blue Bacon Peratini. As Peratini's attorney, R. Paul Katrinak, filed new opposition to DeCastro's second attempt to have the lawsuit dismissed. DeCastro recently had a second attempt to have the lawsuit dismissed rejected by the court, as he failed to properly fill out his own name and the name of the defendants on the submitted form. The filing by DeCastro was part of DeCastro's attempt to reset the case to allow it to be refiled at another time, as he felt that his side has not been heard in the lawsuit. Katrinak's extended reply disputes DeCastro's statements and again points out that DeCastro is currently ignoring multiple court orders in the case. The attorney wrote, "Plaintiff is in violation of the following 5 court orders. The order on the motion to compel plaintiff's responses to defendant's special interrogatories has not been complied with. The order on the motion to compel plaintiff's responses to defendant's form interrogatories has not been complied with. The order on the motion to compel plaintiff's responses to defendant's requests for production of documents has not been complied with. The order on the motion to compel plaintiff's responses to defendant's requests for admission has not been complied with. And the order on plaintiff's reconsideration of sanctions and he has not paid the original sanctions or the sanction for that motion. Kachernak further points out that DeCastro has yet to pay over $10,000 in sanctions imposed by Judge H.J. Ford III in the lawsuit. The attorney also objects to the fact that DeCastro has been able to delay a hearing on terminating sanctions multiple times by filing last-minute frivolous motions, including his now multiple attempts to voluntarily dismiss the lawsuit. The next hearing on the 2-year-old case is scheduled for May 29th, 2025. The saga of jailed YouTuber Lane Myers took another twist on Friday, as Judge Danielle B. Lewinsky reset the date of his motion to remove Judge D. Douglas Metcalf from a June 10th, 2025 court date to May 27th, 2025. Then revealed that the hearing was apparently to be accompanied by a change of plea hearing on the same date. Judge Lewinsky mentioned the change of plea hearing in the release of her notice of media requests by frequent Myers collaborators Mark Kelly and Mark Brown. Both men are seeking to record and live stream Myers' change of plea hearing. 3 hearings are currently on the calendar for Tuesday. A hearing in front of Judge Lewinsky at 9:15 a.m. in room 805 for the media hearing, plus a 9:30 a.m. hearing in room 802 for the motion to recuse Judge D. Douglas Metcalf, followed by a hearing set for the same time for the change of plea. No further details about the change of plea hearing are currently available, as the court is closed for the extended Memorial Day weekend. The clerk at the Pima County Courthouse our reporter talked to was unable to access either the media requests or the plea deal before the courthouse closed on Friday afternoon. The media requests were later released to the Pima County e-access portal Friday evening. No information about the change of plea hearing is currently available through the same portal. These developments come as YouTuber MERB addressed Myers' motion to recuse Judge Metcalf in a Friday night extended livestream. MERB, who is licensed to practice law in California but not in Arizona, examined the rules of judicial procedure and Arizona State Supreme Court rulings on forcing the recusal of a judge and found the claims by Myers to be wanting. According to MERB's coverage, Myers cannot file a recusal motion simply because a judge has ruled against him. The vast majority of Myers' document involves rulings that he feels Judge Metcalf improperly or unfairly ruled against him. Furthermore, all complaints must be filed within 10 days of the hearing where the events occurred. The vast majority of the claims by Myers come months after the rulings that he's objecting to. What remains, after eliminating claims due to time or rules of procedure, is the supposed threat made by Judge Metcalf to Myers. Judge Lewinsky ordered a transcript of the hearing, and the hearing itself, which is widely available online, shows that the exchange Myers describes did not happen. According to Lewinsky's Thursday order, Myers will have 20 minutes to argue his motion to recuse Judge Metcalf at Tuesday's hearing. The state will have 15 minutes for their response. Then Myers will have 5 minutes to rebut the state's response. We will have reporters at the courthouse, and we'll have a full report on our YouTube channel set for Tuesday night. This is a breaking news story. We need your help. Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper And our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, feeding the cats, defending ourselves from lawsuit threats, and writing news stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, you can do so via a donation to our PayPal, Cash App, or GoFundMe accounts. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch our videos from beginning to end, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.